Welcome, everyone, to the show. Well, it's early this morning, and I'm up again at 5 o'clock in the morning, me and my old dog. And for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm going to try to do this show every morning and then kind of chop it up into shorts. Still learning about the shorts and the frame rate and all that, but, it's coming along. So anyway, I don't know if I'm the only one. Oh, and by the way, I don't edit these like most of your podcast, or when they do shows, you'll see the little skip in the middle of the video. I don't do that. I just think it's non-organic. I think it's better if you just let your flaws be shown. If you can monologue for 10, 20 minutes, then great on you. But let's get to it. I find it ironic that the truth is under attack. I don't get it. It's almost like in this country, in the world, it's not just this country. The truth is under attack. A lie is the truth, and truth is a lie. And without naming any specific issues, all you have to do is turn on the news. Men can't become women, women can't become men. There's only two sexes, which is male and female. I don't use the term gender because I think it's corrosive. It was a term coined by the psychologist John Money, which was a monster. He was an absolute monster. He's the one that they did the documentary about, of the two twins, of which both of them ended up committing suicide. But you can look it up for yourself. So, with that said, I don't use that term. But it's almost like, it's almost like that today's society is just can't determine what truth is. Why is that? Why is all of a sudden all our terms and norms and definition of words have been just skewed and manipulated to facilitate a type of just a type of lifestyle or whatever it may be. I mean, it's almost like that words have no meaning anymore. But luckily, I do see this turning around. I see a lot of pushback from people like Megyn Kelly and people not using proper or assumed proper pronouns and things like that. I see that happening a lot. And that's great, because that's not what these people want. These people want chaos. I really believe this. And I don't know what the absolute agenda is. I'm not a conspiracy guy. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But conspiracy is actually a legitimate term. I mean, you can be, there's always conspiratorial, things that happen, like, what they're doing with Donald Trump now and the conspiracies to overthrow the election, which I might add is always is absolutely within the vice president's power to send those votes back to the state. Been done numerous times throughout our history. This is nothing new. The Democrats almost do it every time that they lose. They want to contest the electorals with an alternative body of electorals. But it's been done a couple of times. Congress has had to pick the president at least once. So this is all political process. And here's what I also think, not to get too far in the weeds, but President Trump has judicial immunity. And that's what people are forgetting too. He has judicial immunity. I'm sorry, presidential immunity, not judicial immunity. I had something else in my head. So he has presidential immunity. So tell me, and by the way, judicial immunity is for judges. But he has presidential immunity. So how are they going to get past that? And it's not me. I forget the judge's name that just dismissed a lawsuit that was filed against Trump. And he was a liberal judge, and I forget what his name is. But anyway, he dismissed it. He says he has presidential immunity. It's a federal judge. Don't take my word for it. It's happened in civil litigation here recently. So, gonna be kind of hard to get past that, don't you think? I would think. But like I said, I mean, with all that saying, I'm just shocked at the way where the country's going today. I really am. I just don't understand the beliefs of some. And it always starts, all this nonsense always starts in California and New York. And it just creeps its way down through the lower 48 states until it just corrupts everything. I don't know how many times your city has to be somewhat destroyed before you stop electing these people. In this last election that I was in, we had only 39% of the people that were registered to vote show up. People, that's awful. That is horrible that you only have that many people show up to vote. And then you wonder why your country is in such disarray. Don't wonder anymore. You got 60% of the people that don't care. And that happens in national elections too. And so if we don't get control of our borders, secure our elections, then where are we going to be? Stop paying migrants to illegally pass over the southern border? I mean, we have everything so ass backwards now that I don't know where all this is going to go. I don't know how long we can sustain this. Now, to be clear, because like I said, I'm not a conspiracy guy. This shit's been going on for quite some time, over 100 years. You've got this stuff happening all the time. I mean, just look at JFK and the conspiracies that the CIA killed him. Is that true? They still won't release the documents. And even, to be fair, even President Trump didn't release the CIA documents. He could have. So, ask yourself this question. Where are we headed? Well, we're headed away from God. In a few words, that's where we're headed. We're walking away from God. We're turning our back on Him. And eventually this country is going to fail. And if you don't think that this country can fail, look at Rome. So we're relatively a baby country. And this experiment with capitalism and this constitutional republic, and please stop using the word democracy, or at least change the definition of democracy. And if it means constitutional republic, then great. But even I disagree with Tucker Carlson when he says it's a representative democracy. No, it's not. We're not a representative democracy. We are a constitutional republic. So, if you don't believe that, just, cite your national anthem or your pledge of allegiance, so to speak. Not the national anthem, but the Pledge of Allegiance. We used to do that every day in school. The only flag that should be flying in our public schools is the American flag. But let me also tell you something else that I see, our school districts. And I'll tell you, I had a case one time where it was really my stepson. I won't go into the details, but they basically took his phone, right? They took his phone, and the phone actually was on by me. And I filed what was called a immediate replevin, writ of replevin on the phone. They said they were going to hold it for 30 days. And I said, oh, hell no, you're not going to hold it for 30 days. So I filed an immediate replevin, posted a bond, had the constable go out and seize the phone from the school. Got into court, and I would have won the case had I forgot to scribe the pleadings that I forgot to have it notarized. Scribe it, right, as part of the statute. And I was getting the phone back the next day. And the judge said, hey, you can refile it because the case was solid. Basically, New Jersey versus TLO, and I've brought this up quite a bit. United States Supreme Court in New Jersey versus TLO in 1984. And what they said is you can only invade a student's right to restore order. Should they have taken the phone? Yes. Should they have kept it? No. You can only invade a student's rights to the extent to restore order. And they go on to say that teachers in public schools and officials in public schools are what? Agents of the government. They are not surrogate parents. They are not sub-parents. They are authority figures and agents of the government. And that's the terms that they used in that case law. And that case law is still prevalent today. And I don't know why people don't use it. Maybe they don't know it's there, but it's 1984. It's a good read. Go pull it up and read it, especially if you have children and know what the case law is. New Jersey v. TLO. And with that, because nobody wants to hear me rant for 12 plus minutes, I'm going to end this show today. And I wanted to say God bless to everybody. Stay strong. I think it's going to get better. I really do. I think the tides are shifting, and they went too far. And I was watching Joe Rogan. I'm going to end it with this. I was watching Joe Rogan's show yesterday, and one just has to ask, how much is Bud Light paying Joe to just have those cans sitting on his podcast table? Now that, my friends, is interesting. You know what I have to say about that? I hope he gets $100 million. I hope he makes a ton of money off of it. Don't blame him a bit. And with that, I'll catch you guys on the next video. God bless.